the second theme we wanted to address is how to optimize your treasury management. So we will talk about a solution and what the collaboration between a bank and an IT vendor could be, because it's also an issue for the bank to make sure that your customers are using, let's say, better solutions. So, and again, it's especially for the smaller, let's say, member of the association, the SMEs, the mid-cap, and we very see often that they don't have enough, even a treasury management system or a good bank communication hub in place. So let's talk about what could be the solution and the interesting, let's say, proposal, let's say, that Bill is offering to the customer. So let me invite Thomas and Gilles to join me. Okay, so Gilles, maybe you can maybe try to start and to explain, and I give you the wood control. What was the idea when you've launched this project, and the idea of what could we do as a bank for helping our customer better managing treasury?
Yeah, thank you, François. So my name is Gilles Coeymans. I'm in charge of business solutions for segment C, corporate and institutional at Bill, and I'm also in charge of factoring and cash management. So, and yes, indeed, the partnership with Agicap, it started with a very simple observation, actually. So many customers, many clients, whether they were or they are corporate clients or institutional clients, they do face problems, issues when it comes to cash management. So I'm going to give you some examples.
Just when you say institutional, just to clarify for the audience, so it's what, managed services company, family offices, multi-family offices?
I will come back to that later, okay, but it's
so it's not only the corporate.
No, it's actually it's for corporate and for not any size, obviously. So the situation, cash management situation, must be a little bit complex in a way, but also the institutional clients may be concerned. So I will come back to that. But to come back to the pain points, just to name a few: lack of consolidated visibility over the bank accounts, limited automation for key tasks such as bank reconciliation or reporting, difficulties implementing cash pooling solutions, having to manage multiple access points to different banking platforms, absence of intercompany transfer management. This one comes up frequently. Limited cash flow forecasting capabilities, very important. Strong dependence on Excel to produce financial reporting. So it's not exhaustive, but those are recurring problems. And at the same time, at Bill, we felt a bit of frustration because Bill, as a universal bank, despite being a universal bank, we were not able to address these problems with the existing solution. This led us to reflect on how we could improve the situation and better support the customer. And following a recent partnership with a factoring service provider, the idea of a partnership with a TMS editor, a treasury management system editor, provider, yes, seemed to be a very logic and a good solution. And at the same time, what we see on the market, it's clearly a rising trend where banks, they are more and more reluctant to develop by themselves costly and complex solutions, and they do prefer more and more to go for third providers to extend the range of services and solutions for their customers. And so this partnership is clearly in line with this strategy. So after having compared the different solutions on the market, so we make the choice of Agicap for a lot of reasons. If I have to give three reasons, maybe, is the first one is the functional coverage. That's very important. So it's quite wide indeed. Even more important to me, it's the modularity, because it enables the customer to diminish the costs by choosing only the modules he needs. And three, I would say the good value for money. We entered into this partnership, exclusive partnership, in Luxembourg, and last year, and we started the marketing of the solution in September last year. And the role of each other is very, very clear. So Bill acts as an intermediary, a business introducer, and the specialist, the service provider, is Agicap. So our role at Bill, and more specifically the role of the relationship managers at Bill, is to identify the clients facing the problems I was mentioning before, and then presenting Agicap, the solution, or at least the main features of the solution. And if the customer wants to go one step further, then to establish the contact with Agicap. And the objectives for us is very clear as well. So it's to expand our offering for CFOs and treasurers by proposing a solution to their problems, simplify and optimize the treasury situation, the treasury management, with an automated tool to reinforce the long-term relationship we have with the customers by bringing some added value, and finally to enable Bill to differentiate itself on the market in Luxembourg and potentially attract new customers as well.
Mm-hmm. So you decided to go for the, let's say, partnership approach rather than to develop yourself a host to a solution.
Clearly to be faster. And yeah, absolutely. And practically, that was our view, at least. Practically impossible to develop in a short time a solution as good as Agicap, and it's not our métier either.
So you decided to go, let's say, beyond what a normal bank is offering, and to be honest with you, there is not that many banks having this kind of offer. So you have also a platform where you mentioned factoring, Agicap with a different, let's say, range of solutions and modules. And I guess next stage could follow. You can imagine to offer other products in the future to clients.
It's another topic indeed, but it's a channel, through this channel. So we propose those two partnerships now, and in the future we will have more. Yeah.
To be a sort of marketplace of solutions dedicated to CFOs and treasurers.
That's the strategy we follow, yeah.
Okay, super. So though it's quite interesting because it's not that frequent, and especially in Luxembourg, so really appreciate it. But maybe time to move to you, Thomas. So could you introduce yourself a bit, Agicap, for those who do not know Agicap, where it has been, let's say, founded? I know it, but let's tell it for the members, and just to introduce a bit the company and what you propose for as services.
Well, thank you very much. I don't know if I have much to say after what Gilles presented already, but well, good evening, everyone. My name is Thomas Clotteau. I'm the VP Sales from Agicap, and I'm globally managing the sales team, mainly for France and the UK. To make a global overview of Agicap, so this is a company based in Lyon, French-based company. Happy to share that we celebrate our 10th birthday 2 weeks ago by gathering all our 700 employees in the south of France. What I can say is Agicap is, of course, a French-based company, but it's already quite international because more than 50% of our revenues come from foreign countries. So the biggest country after France is Germany. We've got more than 100 people working in Berlin. We also have bigger markets in Italy, Spain, and in the UK. Those are the main countries in Europe after France and Germany. And this is something also that we are proud to announce, is that we just launched our US activities last summer. We are based in Texas, in Austin. And this is, let's say, a first step approach in order to understand that American market, because we are just willing to understand if we are able to make the same success that we had here in Europe. Basically, we have almost 10,000 clients, more or less, and we are very close to above 65 million euros of ARR, and we plan to hit 100 million euros in just 2 years. So huge ambitions, and this is the reason why we have more and more partnerships with, for instance, Bill.
I've heard that you have similar partnership in other countries.
Yeah, correct. We have a lot of partnership. so first I'm going to talk about the kind of clients that that we have. So basically you can see that it's a very huge spread of different type of clients. Maybe something that may interest all of you is that we have a lot of companies that are PE backed. This is something which we are very interested in. Of course, we are working directly with a lot of funds. Well, for two reasons. Well, for themselves, in order to make sure that they got a better visibility on the companies they are supporting, and for the company that they invest in, of course, is to make sure that they will be managing the cash a lot better than what they used to do. We have a big motto in Agicap is cash is king, and this is, of course, something that matters for PE companies.
And also the speed for the integration implementation of the project is faster than other solutions. So, because for PE, I guess they acquire an asset, so they need to set up quite rapidly a treasury.
Yeah,
team.
this is correct. We consider ourselves still as not a startup, but at least a scale-up. But speed is something very important, very key. Just to highlight something, we have more than 150 people in the company working on the research and development side, because it's really highly critical for us to make sure that we're gonna, well, first develop more and more solutions that will meet the needs of our clients, and also, of course, to make it naturally 100% SaaS native, and that is, of course, the implementation side. So globally, what we see is that we implement the solution between 4 and 8 months, in average, let's say 5 to 6 months, no more. Maybe a quick overview of the solution. I don't want to sell it to everyone, of course, but it's just to give you an overview of the way we are working right now. So, of course, if you have further questions, I will be pleased to see you during the cocktail. I've got also Quentin with us today. Quentin was the one who managed that partnership with Labille. So globally, it's a global platform, just like what you were mentioning before, and we have specific modules that you will be able to take one by one, depending on your specific requirements. Of course, the first one is liquidity planning. This is how we created Agicap 10 years ago. But we developed other modules just in order to, well, just help the companies we had as client at the beginning.
Is it true to say, or fair to say, that you started as a cash flow forecasting solution?
Yeah, correct.
When I say cash flow forecasting, not the 13 weeks, but the monthly 12-month cash flow forecasting.
Yeah, exactly. So it was really for cash flow, long-term cash flow planning, and of course that was accelerated during the COVID crisis. But as we are having more and more bigger clients, of course we were willing to make some proposal on account payable and account receivables, which this is something we launched something like 4 or 5 years ago, and then we implement cash managers, of course, to have the full scope of managing cash flow for our clients.
What is quite unusual in terms of IT vendors, you are the first one having started with that, and getting all the other.
Here again, Agicap has been created for clients, and with the help of our clients. What is key is that we are quite agile. At least we want to keep that agility. And if we have a lot of clients that are requesting something, of course we are planning to develop it as fast as we can. And AI, of course, will help us to develop even faster than what we used to do. So the added value of a single platform, of course, makes sense for everyone, is to make sure that everyone in the finance team will be able to collaborate to use a single platform, which will be what we call the single source of truth as well. And by using that platform, everyone will be able to have an impact on cash management and cash performance, not only on one specific modules, but all modules have different synergies, one with the other. So I don't want to spend too much time on each module. Maybe each time to, instead of going to features, maybe to give you the potential benefits of each one. So this is the cash management module. So very quickly. What is interesting in the end is, well, first of all, you can see that it's very easy to use, very easy to implement. We already said it.
User-friendly.
Sorry?
User-friendly.
Yeah, very user-friendly, very intuitive. The UX is something that we are working a lot on. And for instance, you will be able to see all the cash position of all bank accounts. You will be able to see it on a group level or drill down to an entity level and so on and so on. And what is key, you will be able to have some scenario that will, well, you will have the possibility, you will have some suggestion of making some cash balancing and so on and so on. And what is key is that, well, you will be able, of course, to gain a lot on cash investment or to just position more cash than what you used to do, because you will have a very good value on each entity of the group. Just for instance, we sometimes have clients that just earn 50% more in just 1 year than what they used to do. So this is something highly positive. And each time we meet a client, of course, we make a huge discovery of the needs, but then we always make a ROI study just to understand how they will earn money with us. This is the second one. This is the long-term liquidity module. This is something that we used to be specialized only on this. Some key benefits, of course, is to, well, first to earn time, to make sure that you don't use an Excel sheet or Excel, which are wonderful tools, of course, that we still see a lot of clients using. But once you finish all your calculations, once you input all your data, well, the day after, of course, it's not updated. And what is key for us is to make sure that all our clients will be able to take business decision on reliable data. So you will have the possibility, in line, for instance, to make some scenario, make sure that there is no human error, that when someone is not there anymore, well, you will be able to have the data, and of course to make both short-term and long-term investment with the best optimization. I'm going quite quickly. This module is the purchase to pay module. So you can see also the example. We've got business card as well. This is something that some clients like a lot. What is key is, of course, to make sure that we're going to automate almost everything. This is something very important. A lot of clients that are using TMS like Agicap, of course, that will have a huge impact on the number of people in the team, or at least that they won't dedicate any more time on spending on manual tasks, but optimizing everything and making sure that they will take more business decision than just putting data into tools. Better expense control, faster month-end closing, of course. This is something very key. And you have a clear vision of everything that you will pay, because you have the possibility to make the payment, of course, with Agicap. So this is the account receivable module. This is something which our clients use more and more, because you will have the possibility to implement a global cash collection management policy, and also we share the best practice of our clients. This is something key. If you want to make sure to have more and more cash and manage it, well, make sure that your clients pay you in time. So we will be able to provide you with a sequences tool, with email, with calls that will enable you to make sure that you will collect all the money that your clients owe you, of course. Of course, it has an impact of an invoice financing fee, and globally, you will be able, of course, to get back more cash, and of course, that will provide more interest for you. Sorry, I don't see. Yeah, of course, and as RAE is 100% SaaS, it's very easy to build some reports that you will have for any member of the finance team that will use. Anytime you'll be able to access that tool, of course, when you are at the office. But when you're also working remotely, we've got a mobile app that is very useful. We had a testimonial of a client, for instance, a CFO that was saying, what I like the most is that with that mobile application, I don't receive any calls from my CEO on Monday morning because he has everything on the mobile app. So I'm quite peaceful on Monday mornings because now he has the global data. So it's also very easy to share data, to share information, not only for the people who manage it, but also with all the top management. So here again, this is something very useful. I was mentioning that we have more than 150 people working on the engineering side, on research and development. Here again, this is just a very, very short presentation of the last modules or last features that we developed for the last 6 months. So you can see that goes quite quickly. This is the interest of a SaaS-based company. And once our client have chosen a model, well then, of course, each time we have new features, our clients will benefit of it very, very quickly without pricing implementations fees in addition to that.
It's also clear that you are integrating yourself. So you implement, you don't outsource, so you have your own consultant.
Well, up to now, we're working with partners that are usually providing the ERP by themselves. Those, from time to time, they develop by themselves the integration, but otherwise, at least for the moment, we implement it directly with people from our companies. This is a global tracking of the way we implement the solution in Agicap, so we have a clear focus on the quality of the implementation because this is key. We don't want our clients to take a tool that won't be used and that doesn't provide any ROI. So this is the reason that on each step, you've got someone that will help you to understand the products, making sure that you use it at its full power.
But it's also true that you have a lot of videos, and so some videos on YouTube, so you have a lot of interesting videos and tutors to get a better flavor of the different modules and how easy it is to use. And
yeah, exactly. So it's very, very easy to use. And
when it comes to training of the team, so how long is it? At both levels, because I guess that's first for the customer to be used to use the system. At the bank level, because let's be honest, an account officer in a bank is not necessarily the first person you think about to sell a product or to detect the needs. So what have you done just to make sure that your account officer are...
I'm going to start. So at Bill, so we did some training. So, but the idea was not indeed to make them an IT vendor. So it's not our job. We are bankers. We are not software salespeople. So, but still, so they were all trained on Agicap. And then also the solutions, at least the main features of the solutions. We also took the opportunity to make some refresh for them, for the relationship managers on different topics related to treasury, cash management, for example, what ERP versus TMS, cash flow forecasting, transfer price, and things like that. So the idea behind it is to make them more comfortable when they meet a customer and to better understand
to detect the needs.
Exactly. So to better understand the business and the constraints and the problems as well, indeed.
And for the users, how long does it take?
Yeah, for the user, training is really key. This is something that is both internally, so it takes some time for us to train people internally to make sure that they will provide the best training for our clients. Because what we saw is that our tool is quite nice, it's really convenient, very easy to use, but if we don't see a clear adoption of it on the client side, well, they will pay for nothing. And this is not a win-win long-term partnership that we want to have with our clients. So we train them, it starts at the implementation level, but then we've got what we call an activation level, which means that we have people in Agicap calling our clients saying, okay, we saw that you have that and that specific business needs. Potentially, this is the way you can address it, and we just provide training day to day like that. And then on the other side, of course, each client is supported by what we call key account managers. and we've got a business review almost at least every year, but most of the time for biggest clients is every quarter. And this is the reason why we will identify some needs and making sure that, well, we will understand them, potentially put it in the roadmap and making sure that they will take all the benefit of it.
And for the smaller companies, SMEs, mid-corps, having no TMSs, you also help by, let's say, setting up a return on investment just to assess what could be the benefit to convince the management, because when you have a TMS, okay, it's easier because you have already a tool, but when you have no tool, I guess that could be useful to convince the management.
Yeah, globally what we see is that, let's say 50% of the time they don't have any TMS, so this is the first time they're going to implement that kind of solution. But most of the time they will have a TMS that won't do all the things, all the features that we will provide to them. So it's a mix of it, but for sure for the one that will invest for the first time, it's not only a question of money, it's also a question of how do they want to implement the solution and how they will manage the team to use it. So it takes time on the implementation on our side, but it also takes time for them
to train their teams.
To train the team, but also to understand all the potential of it. So globally, we think that when we spend 1 hour, 2 hours in implementation, we ask the client to spend at least 1 hour on his side to get trained to the tool.
No, it's something that we have noticed. So more and more at our courses at ATEL with the House of Training Chambre de Commerce. So we notice that we have more and more controllers, accountants, head of accounting, being forced to do a part of the treasury, let's say, management, and they're coming to get the training to be able to first they need to get this training, then to get a tool, and then they could, because sometimes they don't necessarily deserve to have a full-time treasurer in place because of the size of the company or the complexity of the operations.
Yeah, maybe it give me the opportunity to come back to your previous question as well, talking about the targets, which customers are targeted.
Is it more than just the corporate?
Absolutely. So the first cases we are analyzing together with Agicap since September tend to confirm that the spectrum is very broad again. So on the corporate side, so corporate for sure, mid-corporate and sometimes smaller companies may be interested. On the institutional side, private equities, family offices, big family offices, fiduciaries, asset managers sometimes, or even public bodies. Recently with an hospital in Luxembourg, they expressed some interest on Agicap. So, but it's not really a matter of size or of turnover or FTEs or whatever. It's more, it has more to do with the complexity of the organization. And if you have more than one bank or more than one company to manage or more than one account, very soon your situation can become complex, and then useful is necessary.
But to conclude, we could certainly say that the specific ecosystem in Luxembourg is quite interesting, and if you compare corporate in general to the other, let's say, institution you are targeting, so we are well, let's say, ahead in terms of organization, because a lot of us use TMSs or are better organized, or they have an acting treasurer in place. So, but very interesting. So it's good to see this kind of partnership, because I do believe that it's something that the bank should, let's say, develop in the future to provide something on top of being a financial commodity providers, and I like the idea in this partnership. So thanks a lot to both, and if you have any question, Quentin and Thomas are around, or Gilles, an expert on Agicap. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.